So sometimes critiques go okay, sometimes they go great, and sometimes they're hard. And then there are some times where they don't go well, and you just have to take it with a grain of salt, because it's out of your control. You know, you just move on from it.
I also understand that this is one person in the industry. They know what they're talking about, but it is one person's opinion, and it might not be their cup of tea. Maybe they don't like line work, and other people like line work. So it could be
Very
little
true,
things
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So extract as much as you can, and then take it with a grain of salt. And then we're also going to tell you about some.
Yeah, these are subjective. All critiques are subjective.
We're going to tell you about some critiques that we got that were probably not the most helpful, or you know, we extracted as much as we could from the critique, but at the end of the day we're like, okay, that didn't move me forward much. I got a critique on a book that I wrote, a picture book, and I got like a blanket statement: write what you know. And I'm going, yeah, but what does that mean? And yes, I know what it means. I am Latina, but that doesn't mean that I only want to write about that subject or be in a box. I also like to write about other things.
But and also, how does it apply to the book? Exactly. You know, how does that apply? It's fine if they said that, but they also need to back it up with maybe a little more information.
Right. No, this was a blanket statement that I just got. Write what you know. And I'm like, well, that did not help me. If you could please say something else, like, this is what's missing in the structure of this story, or whatever it is. Not just you see my name and therefore I should be in this box. So, so those critiques, you just have to be like, okay, well, that's all I'm going to get out of this critique, and then you move on.
Yeah. And then we had a critique with the same person. So I understand that when a person is a critiquer, they usually get quite a few submissions for critiques. So at these conferences or after webinars, I don't know what the number is. It could be 10, it could be 15 people they might have to critique. So I understand that they have to, it's a large number.
Sometimes give a presentation as well. So
it's
quite a lot of work on their plate.
Yeah, it's a lot to do. And but Olga and I both submitted at the same time for the same person.
Completely different stories.
Yes. Completely different stories. And the critique I got back had Olga's character name in it for me.
So it was a lot of copy and paste. And it just happened that we knew each other and we had the same speaker, and we're like, wait a minute, what does this mean? Why are they talking about my character in your story? And so we were.
So that then was you question, then you question, okay, is any was any you question everything else in the critique, like is it worth listening to?
So you just move on, like I said, don't burn bridges, and just take whatever you can. This one was a good critique, okay, then move on.
Yeah Play nice.
Try. Yes, that you have to in this industry, and I would say anywhere. I mean, you have to learn to play nice with others. And if you want to get into traditional publishing, gosh, you have to play well with others, because it's not a one-man show at all. And it's my grandmother used to always say, no escupas para arriba. If you translate it to English, it actually says don't spit up, because it will come back down. It's quite gross. But that's what I would say.
I guess that makes sense. Okay.
Don't, I think the English version would be like, don't spit down
don't
wind.
Don't spit into the wind, or don't
into
spit
the
down.
wind. Okay, yeah. Well, in Spanish, there's no escupas para arriba.
Actually, that sounds better than don't spit into the wind.
But it's still just as gross. So
were people spitting a lot?
I don't know.
I guess they were. They probably were.